How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit to cover in this video. Herman Hulst spoke to the PlayStation blog, Sid Schumann talked to Hulst, and I want to go over some of the things that were mentioned. Nothing too major, but some interesting tidbits there. This is making the rounds on social media quite a bit. PlayStation says they plan to launch 10 live service games by March 2026. That is coming from Sony's Q3 earnings call. Dying Light 2 Stay Human's review has been posted. The reviews, I should say. They've begun being posted. Metacritic score is out, receiving fairly positive reviews. We'll talk that. First of all, Hulst speaking a little bit on the Bungie acquisition, everything going on with PlayStation and Worldwide Studios. Now, Sid Schumann noted, moving forward, how do you see PlayStation Studios partnering with Bungie? Do you envision a close working relationship with them? Herman Hulst responded, absolutely, and obviously, it's still early. The deal itself needs to be finalized before we can officially start discussing detailed collaboration, but I've spent a lot of time with folks like Jason Jones and Pete Parsons and some of the senior team over at Bungie, and let me tell you, everyone is very excited for Bungie and PlayStation Studios to share ideas, share some of our battle scars as well, and really just learn from one another. Schumann responded, following up, saying, sounds like a dynamic time to be a game designer at PlayStation with all this news. The last 12 months for PlayStation Studios has been really interesting with interesting Housemarque and Bluepoint and others. Kind of a crazy time. Hulst responded, well, exciting times. We have a few very good months coming up for PlayStation fans. Horizon Forbidden West is only a few weeks away. I've been playing it for a while now, and it's everything that I know Guerrilla wanted it to be. We actually began the game back when I was still with Guerrilla, and I'm just as amazed at the scope, depth, and the sheer quality that the team has achieved. You know, I think they've actually gotten a bit better since I left the team, so really proud of them. He continued by talking a little bit about Gran Turismo 7, there being a state of play coming up very shortly, and then MLB The Show 22 is coming in April, and that will be available on all platforms, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox, and I believe it's the first time it'll be on the Nintendo Switch. I should also note, this is outside of the PlayStation blog post, but Jeff Keighley did note on Twitter that there are more gaming deals that are in the works. I think everybody's seeing that coming, that this is the trend and this is where gaming is going to move forward. Look, if Microsoft is closing $70 billion deals, acquiring Activision, if you think that's going to be the last of this, and if you think that Sony isn't going to counteract in a big way, obviously, you're living in fairy tale world. There's going to be a lot of major moves within the next coming months, and I think a lot of these deals are going to be close to getting finalized. A lot of you guys in the comment section seem to have the same kind of worries that I do, that you don't really want major publishers to go one way or the other. Look, it's not a great thing if PlayStation and Sony acquires a bunch of major studios and then locks away other consumers from playing the game. You want as many people possible to be able to play the games, and that's a little bit of a bummer. This interview, this post, it wasn't really anything that amazing, but it does go to show that Bungie is going to be doing their own thing. They are going to be kind of left as a somewhat independent studio, and they did note that their games are going to be multi-platform. They noted that Bungie was going to be a multi-platform studio. I think you can interpret that a couple different ways. You can think that, hey, it's going to be a multi-platform studio where everything they release is multi-platform, or it could be, hey, Destiny 2 is a multi-platform experience. That means they're a multi-platform studio, but they're going to do other games that might be a PlayStation exclusive. We'll have to see how that pans out, but definitely going to be something to follow over the course of the next few months. Alright, over on Twitter, noted by Shinobi602, great Twitter account, I would highly recommend you to follow him. He noted PlayStation says they plan to launch 10 live service games by March 2026. This is coming from Sony's Q3 earnings call. Now, this made the rounds on social media quite a bit. I saw a lot of people talking about it. Live service is a thing that I see a lot of publishers, and maybe not developers, but publishers are going to be super eager to go down this route. These big companies that obviously they want to make the most money that they can. Live service is an area where there is a lot of money in it. If you look at the amount of money that Apex is making, the amount of money as Call of Duty Warzone is making, obviously I can go to Fortnite. These games are raking in a lot of cash, and even that doesn't automatically mean these games are bad. Don't get it twisted. Like a Halo Infinite, I love Halo Infinite. I think it's a great multiplayer title. Some of the microtransaction elements, alright, I'm not too hot on that, but these games rake in a lot of cash, and yes, 10 live service games sounds like a lot over the course of, what, March 2026, so that would be like 4 years? But I don't think Sony is expecting all 10 are going to be slam dunks, but you just need a couple of them to be home runs, and then, you know, hopefully you can really focus on those games, and those are games that can cause, you know, it can generate a lot of revenue for you in the long term. And don't get it twisted either. This doesn't mean they're going to stop doing single-player games. They have a lot of people working on games for them right now, as Shinobi602 even tweeted in a follow-up, noting, quote, "Don't think this is a cause for alarm. Sony's looking to really expand PlayStation, especially especially first-party reach, meaning strong combo of AAA single-player games and multiplayer games together. That's what these Firewalk, Deviation, etc. partnerships are about. Big single player isn't disappearing, and you know, that's something I've wanted from Sony for a very long time. Multiplayer experiences, top-tier multiplayer titles. Whether it be a Killzone, whether it be SOCOM, whether it be new IPs, we need multiplayer in the fold of PlayStation. I love the single-player games. I hope they continue to do a lot of single-player experiences. They're always going to be really good. Horizon's going to be great, I'm sure. God of War is going to be really good. Etc, etc, etc. Those games are going to be great. Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, yeah, that's going to be fantastic, but I also do want a healthy batch of multiplayer titles, because I look at the Microsoft offerings, especially coming off the release of Halo Infinite. Nothing on PlayStation is really at that level from a multiplayer standpoint, so we'll see how that turns out in the long term, but hopefully they can drop some titles that, you know, do excite people. I think that term live service just scares some people, but you ultimately have to see how it's executed. It can be a disappointing thing, but as long as we still get the single player games that are going to satiate that type of consumer, and as long as we do get some high quality multiplayer experiences that you know, are going to be around for a while, because I think Sony can definitely use some of that in its portfolio right now, because, you know, Call of Duty is what it is. Battlefield wasn't the best thing in the world, so if we can get a new Killzone, hey, I'm still advocating for my Killzone 2 remaster. Just throw the multiplayer in there, and I think people would be pretty happy about that. But lastly, I do want to note, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the reviews are being posted for that. The Metacritic score is fluctuating as more and more reviews are posted. Now, I did note a lot of critics are doing reviews in progress, which makes sense, because Techland themselves put out a tweet noting that, hey, they have a big day one patch that's going to alleviate a lot of the technical issues, and they were asking, you know, people that were finding retail copies of the game in the wild, the physical copies, to wait until launch day and get the day one patch and then play the game. So that is something to consider, and it seems like a lot of the issues that people are noting with the review, the critics are noting with the review, is from a technical side of things. So hopefully a lot of that is alleviated and remedied in the near future, even if it's not day one, shortly thereafter. We know they have a 5-year plan. It's going to get better and better. Right now, it is sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. A lot of super positive reviews, and then reviews that are, you know, mixed, and, you know, as far as negative reviews, not too many of those, but, you know, you've got reviews that are 9.5 out of 10s. You got a lot of 9 out of 10s. You're seeing 7s, 8.5s, all around that range. You know, 77 is a solid score. I'll have to see how the game is on launch day, especially with that day one patch, because I'm hoping that does remedy a lot of the technical issues, and hopefully it does run pretty well. So we'll see how that turns out. But right now, 77 is a fairly positive score, but maybe for you, sub 80 would make you want to wait until a sale. I don't know. I'm going to be picking up at a day one. Let me know if this does change your opinion at all. But that's going to do it for me. Again, Herman Hall speaking a little bit on the PlayStation blog. I'll leave a link in the description box below on that. Again, I think the acquisitions are going to continue, but I also do think it's an exciting time in the gaming industry. How it's going to ultimately affect the consumer in the long term might not be the greatest thing in the world, but hey, in the near future, like Hall said, we got Horizon, Gran Turismo's coming, and you know, there's reason to be excited, and hopefully Bungie and PlayStation working together can, you know, improve both of them, if that's what you would hope for. PlayStation looking to have 10 live service games by March of 2026. We'll see how that pans out, and Dying Light 2 Stay Human currently sitting at a 77 on Metacritic. That score will continue to fluctuate, and hopefully with the day one patch, it'll be even better. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.